This is Hecdog from Sistema Bomb.
And Camilo from Sistema Bomb.
Sistema Bomb, the short story is that it documents a series of collaborations between some of the finest masters of Son Jarocho in Veracruz and other Latino musicians outside of Veracruz, from Mexico, from Chile actually, to Mexico, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Yeah, well, I come from LA, born and raised in the barrios of South LA. My folks are immigrated here in the 60s from Jalisco. And, I came up here to the Bay Area in the early 90s and been here ever since.
I was born here in San Francisco, at General Hospital over there on Churro, and was raised here in the Bay Area. Buena Vista School of the Arts, San Francisco. Went to college at UC Santa Cruz, and I've been a professional musician here in the Bay Area for the last 8 to 10 years.
Okay, the longer story is about the Sistema Bomb, the process for it to come together. And that actually has its roots as me as a teenager in Los Angeles playing in my dad's conjunto band. And at the time, during the week, like a lot of Chicanos in LA, I was listening to that early rap and hip hop, NWA with Dr. Dre, Public Enemy, Fat Boy, Salt Pepper, that kind of stuff during the week. And then during the weekend, I play with my dad at bodas and quinceañeras, camarón pelón, tú quieres, camarón pelón te doy. And anything by Los Caminantes, Los Bukis, Carlos y José, Los Tigres del Norte, Ramón Ayala. I mean, that was my life during the weekend, and so that juxtaposition of musical styles stuck with me pretty much throughout, my later formal musical training at UC Berkeley. I just added, classical jazz and modal music to my, pozole, if you will. You kind of are in a constant search of an elusive identity. And it's not like you wake up in the morning, you're like, where's my identity? It's not like that, but it's just, you keep latching onto things and maybe you don't know why. And that brings me to like a number of years ago when I heard this song La Guacamaya by Los Lobos. I got so obsessed that I wanted to, what is that instrument that sounded African, it was percussive, it was melodic, it was like, and so I was like, I gotta find that instrument. I want to play that. I want to hear it. And so there's a pretty popular store in downtown LA that sells instruments for mariachis. And I went there, and then I was like, hey, I'm looking for the little guitar. Los Lobos play it. It's all ting, 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 ting. And the guy obviously didn't know what I was talking about. So he's like, yeah, that one right there. That's it. And he sold me a vihuela. And then I brought that back, and I was recording a record from a former band I was in, Omaya, and I was like, that's not it. That's a rhythmic instrument. And, I was looking for a melodic one. So I took it back, and I ran into Candela's guitars in East LA, and that's when I got my first requinto jarocho, and then I just obsessed. I learned that solo, note for note, front to back. And so what it was is that the Son Jarocho has a few elements that are exactly tied to this duality, and that is one thing is that the freestyle nature of La Décima is very, much like freestyle rap, and they even have retas de improvisación in Veracruz that are very similar to rap battles. So this notion of improvisation in the lyrics with these, and in Veracruz the décimas are very complex, but still it's very similar. And then you have the actual content of the lyrics, which, you have songs that are socially conscious, and then you have songs that are about just regular daily observations. And that's the same as like, socially conscious hip hop, and then, funny kind of comical lyrics in cumbias, like un camarón pelado.
So the project included so many different artists, and it was really born out of electronic music and in the studio. So when we talked about how are we going to do this as a live show, we knew, okay, well, we know it has to have some electronic elements because it's electro jarocho. And we know it has to have some jarocho elements. We know we need to bring some jarochos involved también in the live performance. We're going to be showing off how we're going to do the Sistema Bomb sound system, if you will. Yeah. Incorporating computers, electronics, synthesizers, guitars, requintos, jaranas, cantantes, vocals, and do it as a performance that's really a dynamic musical performance. You know, nobody wants to see some guy with a laptop just push play, and we don't want to see that. We're musicians, and we're incorporating an electronic element into the performance, into a live performance, and I think it's something that it's going to be received well.